remaining in the final. Men's 4 without Coxon. The favorite East German crew out in front. The USA hanging in there. And as we said early, this USA team could be good enough for a goal, but the East Germans are awfully tough, Steve.
Yes, they certainly are. Right now, the American crew doing exactly what they have to do. In the second and third 500 meters, they have to stay up with the leaders, driving the boat with good pace, and that's what they're doing.
Dr. Rodriguez and Mrs. Rodriguez, the parents of Raul Rodriguez, who was in the bow for the men's 4 without Coxon for the United States.
Yes, a very powerful oarsman, Bucky. As we pointed out before, Raul Rodriguez was a football player at Tulane University, came to rowing late, but he's a real force there, and they're doing fine work. They need to sustain this pace right through to that final 500 meters, and let's see them drive to the line. Looking very good at this point.
Dave Kropidich with the headband on in the 3-seat, 33 years of age. A long time has been in the waiting process for him and this Olympic experience. It's the East Germans still out in front in lane 1, but the USA in lane 1 at the top of your screen running a strong race at this point.
Yes, they are. They're right on pace. What I mean is they're rowing about 37 strokes per minute. They're not sprinting, and what we see is good news is they continue to move the boat away.
Into the final 1,000 meters. The men's 4 without Coxon, the row for the gold. In lane 4, the East Germans clearly out in front have led from the wire, but the good news for the United States is their boat is hanging tough, and they are in second place and rowing strong.
Yes, the East German crew using good leg drive, good back pry, sending their boat along. These are the world champions. The United States not far behind in lane 1. This is a critical phase in the race, Bucky. They must maintain their pace because we know the British crew has a tremendous sprint. The crew from Italy has a tremendous sprint. If in fact they're going to medal, they have to keep that distance going, keep their boat moving forward, moving toward the finish line.
The American team of Kennerly, Kropidich, Boer, and Rodriguez making a good showing here as they position themselves for the final 500 meters. But the West Germans, who have in this particular boat 9 gold, 6 silver medals, definitely an experienced crew, and they are the defending world champions.
The U.S. crew swinging the boat along. There's the Rodriguez. They are keeping their fingers crossed. You can see the anxiousness in their faces as they come to this final 500 meter. The crew from West Germany beginning to move up, put themselves in pace. That's the crew with the red band around their shirts.
They were 7th in the world in the last World Championships in 1987. What do you mean swing, Steve?
Swing is the way the back is worked against the legs. A nice rhythmic set.
Bucky Waters and Steve Gladstone, 500 meters remaining. The East Germans setting a torrid pace. The West Germans coming on, and the U.S. positioning themselves for another medal. It looks like a gold's going to be awfully tough for the USA at this point. Can they kick in?
Well, they're kicking right now, Bucky. They've taken the strokes up per minute. They know it's now or never. They have begun their sprint. They're moving the boat powerfully forward. I don't see them fading. Raul Rodriguez just glanced over to check out the opponents. They're doing a great job, Bucky, but they're going to have to get a medal. They're going to have to go flat out full board. They're going to have the sprint of their lives because the British and the West Germans are also strong and good sprinters.
What we need right here is an Ann Martin finish. She did it for the silver, and they're starting to move up.
They're doing a great job, Bucky. They're looking very, very strong with 2:50 to go. It's all courage. It's now foot to the floor, full bore. I'm encouraged by what I see. They've broken the back of the West German crew, the one that's next to them. Now they're going after the Easties. Let's see if they can catch them. Here we go, stroke for stroke, right down to the line as they drive to the line. We're up to 43 strokes a minute now. The U.S. crew looks very strong for the silver medal. Perhaps, Bucky, the gold.
The East Germans are out of gas. There's Kropidich with the headband coming on. They've got a shot.
U.S.
They've
crew
got
is
a shot.
Here they are. They're moving back on the East German crew. My goodness, what a finish. They're keeping the drive going.
They got to hang in for silver. They got to hang in for silver.
Great, strong finish. A marvelous sprint. Courageous race.
An incredible finish by the East German team to hold off a U.S. team that just left it all out there. A courageous run for the gold that will end up silver, but very, very impressive.
That certainly was, and I like your word courageous. They didn't hesitate. They went off the line. They blasted off the mark. They weren't going to wait around. They weren't going to play it cozy. They said, here we go. Off we went. Look at the leverage. Look at the power.
Everybody was waiting for the Soviet Union and Great Britain to lead. So the USA got out pretty well, but I think the real surprise was that the East German team, the defending world champions, would have none of that. They just took the lead early, and we just weren't able to catch up.
Yes, what a terrific effort. The U.S. put on a tremendous sprint, and of course they had to. They closed the gap between themselves and these Germans by more than half a boat length in that last 20 strokes. But they needed to. You can see them finishing second over the West Germans and the Brits. And they should be very proud of that effort. They raced the boat from stroke one right down across the finish line. I think that's a great race, Bucky.
I'm not sure where it's more anxious and more difficult. In the stands, as we see Dr. and Mrs. Rodriguez, or when you're out in that boat. But I think with 500 meters to go, unless you're a real tiger, I think you're safer in the stands. The American team still spent, totally exhausted. You have to admire a group that leaves it out there.
Yes.
So, a second silver for the United States, but the gold went